Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Neha Dhaneja, your mentor and guide for PSM, but a public health specialist by profession. So today I've come up with a really important video, a highly requested video on rabies prophylaxis and management. How are we going to manage a case of rabies in different scenarios? This is one of the most important topics for all entrance examinations, be it FMG, NEET, PG, INI, CT. So I will try to make you understand this topic with the help of MCQs. So let's get started. So first of all, just look at this question. A 44-year-old man has been bitten by a wild dog, resulting in multiple deep lacerated wounds on his left leg. He has a record of previous complete pre-exposure vaccination against rabies that he had taken 5 months back. He presents at the district hospital where you provide him with the appropriate management, which should include. So basically, I am asking you that there is a man who was bit by a wild dog, all right, and he has suffered multiple deep lacerated wounds. He has taken a previous complete pre-exposure vaccination against rabies 5 months back. Now he has come to the district hospital. So what should his appropriate management be? Wash wound with soap and water, give rabies vaccine booster day 0, rabies vaccine booster on day 3, apply povidone iodine on wound or rabies immunoglobulin on day 0. So let us try to understand this question. First of all, students, just tell me which category of bite do you think this is? So of course the person is suffering from multiple deep lacerated wounds on his left leg. So they are multiple, they are deep, they are lacerated, obviously would be accompanied by bleeding. So this becomes a category 3 wound. So before we go on to proceed to how we are going to manage it, let us have a short look at what are the various categories of bite. Okay, so we have category 1, category 2 and category 3. Category 1 is, and here we are talking about the post-exposure prophylaxis. Okay, once the person has been bitten, what has to be done? So for the first 15 minutes, wash immediately for 15 minutes with soap, water and disinfectant. Alright, this will wash away whatever virus has been released. So category 1 is touching or feeding animal licks on intact skin when we don't need to do anything. Category 2 is nibbling of uncovered skin, minor scratches, aberrations without bleeding. Please remember, in category 2, there is scratches and aberrations, but it is not accompanied with bleeding. And category 3, we just did single multiple transdermal bite. So even if it's a single transdermal bite, it's a category 3 bite. Scratches, licks on broken skin, contamination of mucous membrane with saliva from the licks, contact with bats, okay, and in any ways bleeding occurs, okay, whenever bleeding occurs, it will be grouped into a category 3 bite. So for a category 1 bite, we don't need to do anything. For a category 2, wound treatment and immediate vaccination with the vaccine. For category 3 bite, guys, whether it's a single or a multiple transdermal bite, and if bleeding has occurred, we will immediately vaccinate, do the local treatment, immediately vaccinate, and one thing additional is rabies immunoglobulin that we have to give. So the first thing, after understanding these categories, let us look at the various regimens that are available for vaccination. Then we'll try to go back and solve the MCQ. So we have updated Thai Red Cross regimen. This is one of the most important regimens which is given under our National Rabies Control Program. Okay, under our National Rabies Control Program, we are giving this updated Thai Red Cross regimen. This is basically a intradermal regimen. All right, the other one is SN5 dose schedule and one is IPC schedule. So let me tell you quickly about all these regimens. The Thai Red Cross regimen, everybody, you can remember Thai में India आता है, I word comes, I stands for India. So I over here means that we are giving by this route under our National Rabies Control Program. All right. So what are the days that you give? 0, 3, 7, 28, 4 visits. All right, and 2 doses, 0.1 ml intradermally on both the shoulders. So basically it is 2, 2, 2. 14th day dose is not given, so that is 0, and this is 2. Did you understand over here? So this is a very important regimen. Now in our program we are opting for this intradermal. Why? Because it is cost effective. All right, the first advantage of this is that it is a cost effective regimen. All right, and SN is a 5-dose schedule when you're giving it on 0 day, 3rd day, 7, 14, 28. So this is basically 1, 1, 1 and 1. All right, so 5 visits, 1 dose. Okay, every visit 1 dose, 0.5 ml intramuscular. For the adults, we give it in the deltoid muscle, and for the children, it's given in the anterolateral thigh. Is that clear? There is one more schedule, guys, which is known as IPC schedule. This is being given on 0, 3rd and 7 days. You can give it on 3 visits, but 1 dose only, 0.1 ml intradermal. This has been proposed by WHO but is not presently adopted by National Rabies Control Program. So you could be asked, what is the regime that you are giving under National Rabies Control Program? Well, that regime is updated Thai Red Cross regimen, or Thai say you can say India. All right, national word I comes in it. So in India we are giving this intradermal regimen, which is 22202. 2 doses on every visit. 14 day there is not going to be any visit. They can ask you about what is IPC schedule. So that is given on 0, 3, 7 days. Intradermally 1 dose on each visit. It has been proposed by WHO, guys, but it is not presently adopted by the National Rabies Control Program. All right, so this is about our very important post exposure prophylaxis, that once you've decided about the category of the bites, okay, you will accordingly go for the management. In category 1 you will just provide wound treatment, category 2 you will provide wound treatment and vaccination, category 3 you will provide wound treatment, vaccination and immunoglobulin. So once you've decided that vaccine has to be given under your National Rabies Control Program, for post-exposure prophylaxis, we will give this updated Thai Red Cross regime. Now, the most important things, guys, those which are asked as MCQs. Okay, suppose there is a re-exposure. So somebody was bit by a dog some days back, and now again he or she has been bit. So you have to do a proper wound care. But depending on the duration of interval when he has been bit again, okay, suppose he is bit more than 3 months, okay, like from the last bite and the recent bite, it is a gap of more than 3 months, then we just do not need to repeat a rabies immunoglobulin. Okay, if it was you can either give both the regimens. Option 1 is that you have to give it on day 0 and 3, one site intradermal vaccine, and the other one is that you can give on day 0 and 3 intramuscular also. So for re-exposure you can give it by either of the route, but if the time which has elapsed between the last bite and the recent bite is more than 3 months, you will only give it on day 0 and 3. All right, but in case there is documented proof of complete immunization by, this is pre-exposure. In case somebody has taken a pre-exposure prophylaxis before, or has taken a post-exposure prophylaxis, okay, or has taken a post-exposure prophylaxis within last 3 months, all right, then only wound washing is required. Please remember this. If the duration of if the intervals duration between the last bite and the most recent bite is less than 3 months, that means somebody suffers a bite again within 3 months and he or she has been vaccinated either by pre-exposure prophylaxis before or post-exposure, only wound washing is required. You do not need to do vaccination, neither do you need to give immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulin, everybody, if given once, does not need to be repeated. Now, in case of pre-exposure prophylaxis also, guys, look over here. Pre-exposure prophylaxis guidelines are 2. You can either go for a one site, one full vial as intramuscular dose, 0, 7, 21 or 28 days, or you can also go for 0, 7 and a booster 21 at 28 intradermally. You can choose either of it, like we did for re-exposure IMID. Any of it can be given on day 0 and day 3. Similarly, here we can choose either of it, okay? But for pre-exposure guidelines, which is given to veterinarians, okay, veterinarians or those who work in forestries, if the work demands, okay, then we give pre-exposure, okay. If the work demands, we have to give a booster dose of the vaccine also, okay, at every 1 year, but then you have to check for neutralizing antibodies titer every 6 months. If it is less than, vaccine neutralizing antibodies is less than 0.5 international unit per ml, then only we are going to give these neutralizing antibodies. We are going to give a booster every year. Otherwise, we don't need to repeat. A pre-exposure guidelines may we are not giving any rabies immunoglobulin. Please remember that. You're simply giving a vaccine on 0, 7, 21 and 28 days. Okay, but if the person gets bit again, like even after he has received pre-exposure, gets bitten, if the bite is less than 3 months, nothing has to be done, simply wound management. More than 3 months, then you will give day 0 and day 3 vaccine, either by intradermal or intramuscular route. You do not need to give the immunoglobulin even in this case. Why? Because pre-exposure में उसको पहले से vaccines पड़े हुए हैं, so antibodies have formed, so there is no point giving an immunoglobulin again, which is actually costly to procure, okay. And rabies immunoglobulin once given, whether in an earlier post-exposure prophylaxis, the person has received an immunoglobulin, you do not need to repeat it. So keeping these in mind, let us start and do these MCQs once. So here the person suffered a category 3 wound, but he has taken complete pre-exposure vaccination against rabies 5 months back. So that means he has suffered a bite after how many months of pre-exposure prophylaxis? After 3 months of pre-exposure prophylaxis, right? Pre-exposure prophylaxis के 3 months बाद pre-exposure prophylaxis. Yes, after 3 months of pre-exposure prophylaxis, he suffers a dog bite. So that means he has already received vaccine. Alright, so you will do a washing wound with soap and water. Yes. Now, since it is pre-exposure, he's been vaccinated and he's received the bite after 3 months. So you will just give a vaccine dose on day 0, alright, and on day 3. You can apply povidone iodine, but no suturing. Rabies immunoglobulin, like I told you, you do not need to give rabies immunoglobulin in this case because he's received pre-exposure prophylaxis. So antibodies must have already formed. So this will become costly to procure, alright, and WHO says that there is no need to give rabies immunoglobulin in a person who has actually received pre-exposure prophylaxis before. So the correct answer will be 1, 2, 3 and 4. Clear everyone? First thing, decide which bite. Then think, is it less than 3 months, more than 3 months? Whether less than 3 months, nothing has to be done. Whether the person has received pre-exposure or a post-exposure prophylaxis before, more than 3 months, then you simply need to vaccinate on day 0 and 3. Let's have a look at some of the more MCQs. Everybody look. A 19-year-old male bitten by street dog presented to the hospital with agitation, headache, fever and confusion. On direct fluorescent antibody test, rabies was confirmed as the diagnosis. Which of the following is false statement? Rabies is a dead-end infection in man, can be transmitted by aerosols. Suturing is usually recommended. Human rabies immunoglobulin 10 international. Human bite can transmit human rabies infection. Can transmit. So what is false over here? Rabies is a dead-end infection. Absolutely true. It has the highest case fatality rate of 100%. So there's not going to be any person-to-person transmission. This is also very true on very rare occasions. Okay, it can be transmitted by aerosols. बहुत ही rare occasions. Okay, suturing is usually recommended. This is false. We will never never advise suturing on a wound because it will spread the virus. Then human rabies immunoglobulin dose is 10 international unit per kg. So this is also false. Look over here. Human rabies immunoglobulin dose is 20 international unit per kg. We also have an equine rabies immunoglobulin dose which is 40 international per kg. Okay? Human and rat bite don't transmit rabies infection. Okay, so human bite can transmit. This is also false. This is also false. So what are the statements which are false? Third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so you can read this once. Rabies is a dead end infection in man, can be transmitted by aerosols. Okay, mostly the rabies infected bats can be. In India, rabies infection due to bats is not seen. Okay, suture is not recommended. If necessary, do it 24 to 48 hours later. Flush and wash the wound area with plenty of soap and running water for minimum of 5 to 10 minutes. Is that clear? Okay. One more question. A boy complained of unprovoked bite by local dog in the community. The dog was later caught by local animal authorities and appeared to be healthy. The most appropriate course of action: give post-exposure prophylaxis to the bitten person with cell culture derived vaccine. Withhold vaccination, keep the dog under observation for 10 days for signs of rabies. Test the dog for rabies antibodies or immediately carry out euthanasia of the dog. So this is a clear-cut question. You have to give the dog, you have to give the person post-exposure prophylaxis with cell culture derived vaccine. Even if you're observing the dog, which is like a very rare thing that which will happen, you still need to give the person post-exposure prophylaxis. If it's category 1, nothing has to be done. 2, bite, then you have to give vaccines and local treatment. 3, give vaccines, local treatment, and also rabies immunoglobulin. Are you understanding? So one line, the boy should be treated irrespective of the condition of the dog with PP, including vaccination and local wound treatment. Immunoglobulins may be used in category 3 bite. The dog should be observed for 10 days, and if the dog remains healthy, post-exposure prophylaxis may be discontinued. However, it should not be withheld. You should never, even if you're observing the dog, which I told you is a very rare condition, you should never withhold the post-exposure prophylaxis. आप वो तो continue करो. After 10 days, this could come as an MCQ that if the dog is healthy, can we withhold? Can we discontinue post-exposure prophylaxis? We can discontinue, but then it is advisable that it should be given completely. Okay. Also, one thing, guys, rabies immunoglobulin is given in a category 3 bite. ठीक है, आप rabies immunoglobulin category 3 bite में देते हो. But there is one condition where rabies immunoglobulin can also be given in a category 2 bite. That is an immunosuppressed conditions like HIV. HIV में immunoglobulin क्या कर सकते हैं? HIV में the immunoglobulin can also be given in a category 2 bite. Okay, so this was a small but short attempt to make you understand about rabies management. The one thing that you have to remember is decide the category of the wound. Then if it's a post-exposure prophylaxis, go for intradermal regimen, which is Thai Red Cross 22202. On the 14th day it is not given. All right, and if it is a re-exposure case, see whether it is less than 3 months, more than 3 months. Less than 3 months hai, don't do anything. More than 3 months hai, give the vaccine on day 0 and 3, and you do not need to repeat immunoglobulin if given once. Also, if the person has taken a pre-exposure prophylaxis on day 0, 7, 21 or 28 days, you do not need to give immunoglobulin again if he suffers a bite. Okay, you will manage it same. Less than 3 months, then nothing. More than 3 months, day 0 and 3. Okay, so if you have any doubts and queries, do put in the comment section below. And I go live to teach PSM on Unacademy platform in absolutely free classes at 9 a.m. in the morning and 12 p.m. So you can join me. Thank you so much for watching, and please be safe. Please take care of your health. Health is a priority, everybody. Thank you so much.